Hello, Doug Stevenson here with Story Theater International. I'm the creator of the Story Theater method for strategic storytelling in business. And one of the frequently asked questions that I have from my coaching clients, my corporate clients, is this: how do I take a personal story, something that is not business related at all, something that happened outside of business, something that was interesting and profound and could make an interesting business lesson, but how do I connect that personal story that has nothing to do with business to business? How do I make that personal story make a business story point or teach a business story lesson? So today, I'm going to show you how to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it by telling you one of my stories, a story that's been very successful for me, but has nothing to do with business, but makes a very strong business point and actually sells me and my products and services. So here's the story. I'm a dog person. Any dog people out there, people who love dogs? Well, I grew up with dogs in inner city Chicago. My family had Irish setters, and I loved having a dog as a young boy. And we'd go for walks and we'd play with the dog. But my dad took care of the dog, so I didn't have to worry about anything except just having a dog and being enjoyable, having a good time. Well, when I was a young adult, out in Los Angeles, trying to make it as an actor in Hollywood, just having an incredibly great time, I'd see people with dogs, and I'd go over and I'd get my dog fix. You know what I mean? It's like running into somebody in an airport with a dog and you go, oh, could I say hi to your dog? Could I pet your dog? Well, I'd get dog fixes everywhere, but I knew that I didn't have the ability to have a dog on my own because my life was too unstable. I mean, I was living hand to mouth. I was busy all day long. I'd be driving taxi during the day and doing theater at night or running around to auditions. And my life was just crazy, so I knew it wasn't stable enough to have the responsibility of raising a dog. But then along comes Lisa. Well, I fell in love with Lisa. She was my girlfriend, and we were just having a great time being in a relationship. And one day she says to me, honey, let's get a puppy. Well, I was infatuated with Lisa, and I thought, well, there's two of us. Maybe the two of us together could raise a dog. And so we went out, we went into the want ads in the paper, and we found some people that were giving away black Labrador puppies. So we got in my truck and we drove out to the San Fernando Valley, and we came home with this absolutely adorable little, well, she was about this big, just about a little, 8-week-old ball of fat and fur and puppy breath, this cute little adorable little dog that was just kisses galore. We named her Jaya, J-A-Y-A, and we started to raise her, and it was great. Everybody was having a good time with Jaya. All of our friends loved having a puppy around, and we loved having a puppy. Well, that was great for a while, but after about 3 months, well, Lisa and I broke up. And Lisa went away, but the dog didn't. I got to keep the dog. I got the better end of that deal. But anyway, so I'm raising this dog, and luckily for me, I had transitioned into being a carpenter, and I had my own remodeling business. And so I could take the dog with me all day long, and if I'd go to an audition, she'd come with me. If I was in a play at night, she'd be backstage, and everybody take care of the dog while we were on stage. And everybody loved Jai. It was just great. She was a theater dog. She was my best buddy. But then about 2 years later, she was about 2 years of age, and I called her to come in to breakfast. Jaya. And she didn't come for her breakfast. And I went looking for her. There she was, laying on her little doggy pad at the end of my bed. And I was like, Jaya, what's going on? Don't you want your breakfast? And she just looked up at me with those sad eyes. And she just kind of lethargically wagged her tail, but I could tell something's wrong. She didn't want her breakfast. So I took her to the vet, right? That's what you do. You take your dog to the vet. This lovely lady, Dr. Joanne, the veterinarian, she diagnosed Jaya, and she came back and she said, Doug, it's not a big deal. Jaya's got a little doggy cold, a little virus. Going to give you these pills, and what I want you to do is give her one of these pills at breakfast and one of these pills at dinner. Well, I'd never done that before, so I asked her, how do you do that? And she told me how you do it, how you give a dog a pill. So, dinner time. I called Jaya. Jaya, oh, come here. Oh, I know, baby. I know you don't feel good. Well, she came up to me and she was just like really dragging. And so I had to go through the process of doing what the veterinarian told me about giving the dog a pill. So I said, Jaya, I'm going to give you a pill. Now, I'm going to give you a pill, and you're going to have to work with me because I've never done this before either. And so I did what the vet said. You know, you pry their mouth open, you take the pill and you shove it way down in the back of their throat, and you hold their mouth closed, and supposedly they're going to swallow the pill. Well, I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me, and we had a stare down because I couldn't tell. I'm holding her mouth, just like they said, and the pill is down there, and I'm waiting about 30 seconds, and I can't tell, but finally I figured, well, I guess she swallowed the pill, so I let go of her mouth, and she spits up the pill. Now it's like yuck pill and saliva all over my hand. Wash my hands, threw away the pill, got another pill, tried it again. She spit it up again. This is not working. This is absolutely not working, and these are expensive. I'm a struggling actor. I don't have a lot of money. So I looked up at the clock to see if, it was after hours. It was after hours. I couldn't call the vet after hours because it costs a lot of money. So I thought, who do I know? Who do I know that's got a dog? My friend John. John's got a dog. He's got a dog named Buster. I thought I'll call John. Hey, John. Yeah, no, I'm good. Listen, Jai is sick, and I'm supposed to be giving her these pills, you know, that I got from the vet. And every time I shove it down her, yeah, she spits it up. What do you do with Buster? Peanut butter. Why would I get peanut butter? In the peanut butter? Hide the pill in the peanut butter? And how do I scoop it out in my hand? Hide the pill, okay, and that'll work? Okay, sure, okay, well, yeah, I'll give you a call. He told me to hide the pill in the peanut butter. Never heard of this before, but I did what he said. I trusted him, so I got a scoop of peanut butter and I put it in the palm of my hand, you know, took the pill, shoved it inside, hid it inside the peanut butter, held it down for Jaya, and I said, Jaya, do you... Oh, good girl, go. She swallowed the pill with the peanut butter. It was in the peanut butter and she swallowed the pill. What a cool thing, hide the pill in the peanut butter. Well, that's a great lesson for giving a dog a pill, right? I learned that lesson. What does that have to do with business? Okay, what does that have to do with a business message? Well, 15 years later, I'd left Hollywood. I didn't make it as an actor. Can you tell? So now I am a professional speaker and trainer and consultant teaching storytelling in business. Now I've got my third black lab. Her name is Beulah, and she was sick. So that morning, this one morning, I had given her a pill in the peanut butter deal. I'd done the pill in the peanut butter, and a half hour later, I'm on the phone with a potential client. Pharmaceutical company client looking to hire somebody to do some storytelling in business for their salespeople. Well, I'm talking to this lady, she's the VP of sales, and she's describing to me how her product is a pill, and they go out and they make these presentations to doctors in the doctor's offices, but they're having a hard time making an emotional connection because they've got so much data, so much science and compliance, and they've got to do the science and compliance, but they know they need to make a better emotional connection, differentiate themselves in the marketplace, but then she says, you know, the problem is, Doug, all this data, all this stuff, it's great, we're in love with it, but we feel like we're shoving our content down people's throats. A half hour earlier, I was shoving a pill down Beulah's throat. And it wasn't working, and I was using the pill and the peanut butter thing. So without even thinking about it, I said, you know, that's interesting, because I just gave my dog a pill. And I learned to give a dog a pill, you have to hide the pill in the peanut butter. Well, basically what you're saying to me is your pill, your science, your compliance, your data, your statistics, whatever, that's good medicine, but when you shove it down people's throats, they don't like it, they don't get it, there's no emotional connection. But you need to have that stuff, the science, the compliance, the data, you need it because it's important. Story is like the peanut butter. And what I do when I come out and I work with people, such as your salespeople, is I help them to hide the pill, the data science, all that kind of stuff, inside the story butter. The peanut butter is sticky. Story sticks. Facts fade, data gets dumped, stories stick. Now, what I can do is I can help your people to learn how to find stories about customers, clients that will benefit from the pill, and then we'll insert a little data, a little science inside the story. So it's called hide the pill in the peanut butter. It's a technique that I use. What do you think? Would that be a unique process? Would that work for you guys? There was silence on the other end of the phone. And after about 15 seconds, she said, you know, Doug, Nobody's ever explained it to me that way. All the other people we're talking to, they talk about storytelling, but they don't talk about blending science, statistics, and story. And I like your approach. Hide the pill in the peanut butter sounds like a good idea. I'll tell you what, get out your calendar. Let's find a date and you can send me a contract later. And I made the sale right there on the phone. I made the sale by telling a story about giving my dog a pill. Have you ever had a presentation where you had too much detail, too many slides, too many bullet points, where you put people in a content coma with all that stuff, but you didn't make an emotional connection? Well, my challenge for you is in the future, you need to learn how to hide the pill in the peanut butter. Have the data, but have the story. Blend the two together in a very specific story theater way. So the lesson that I learned from that experience is hide the pill in the peanut butter. But the larger lesson for you today is how do you take a personal story and relate it to a business lesson? I call the technique the pivot. And the pivot takes place when you tell the personal story, you're done with the personal story, and then you say something like, fast forward 15 years. 15 years later, I was. And so in my story, I went from, I'm a guy in Los Angeles, I'm a young actor in Los Angeles trying to give my dog a pill, to now I'm a professional speaker teaching storytelling in business. Fast forward 15 years is called the pivot. We pivot from personal to business. Now, I have found that story has been a big, big moneymaker for me because it explains in story form what it is that I do for a living, how I help people, leadership, sales, marketing, whatever, human resources, how I help people to have their science, have their data and statistics, and story too. So how about you? Are you interested in learning how to hide the pill in the peanut butter? Well, if you are, there's a couple of things that just happened. What you're not aware of when listening to this, because it just sounds like I'm just telling a story, is I use the 9 steps of story structure to craft my story. It's a technique that I use. It's a methodology that I use for crafting a story, the sequence of the story. The magic, however, is in the details. Did you experience during my story visuals? Did you see in the movie theater in your mind visuals, environments? Did you see a dog? Did you see her laying at the end of the bed and she was kind of lethargic with those big brown eyes? Did you see me giving her a pill? What room was I in my house? What room was I in when I was giving my dog a pill? You say I was in the kitchen. I never said kitchen, but your brain is so engaged, it's so activated during story that you start to fill in the blanks. Your brain is watching a movie, it's filling in the blanks, it's seeing things. That's called engagement. And was there emotion? Did you feel emotion? Were you sad when the dog was sick? Were you happy when the dog got better? Were you interested in how things went with this lady on the phone? Yes, you were. Were you emotionally engaged? Were you surprised? That's the emotion. So there's emotional engagement. There's movies in the mind. There's a phrase that pays, a technique called the phrase that pays, which is a verb-oriented, short and sweet verb-oriented call to action statement that summarizes the lesson of your story in a memorable phrase. What was my phrase? Hide the pill in the peanut butter. Hide the pill in the peanut butter. Hide is the verb up front. The what? The pill in the peanut butter. It's a metaphor. The pill is facts, data, statistics. The peanut butter is story. A metaphor is a way of saying this is that. The pill is data. The peanut butter is story. It's a metaphor. So your personal stories are metaphors. And if you use the pivot, the 9 steps, and the phrase that pays, and you paint enough pictures with the details, you will engage your audience. So here's the deal. Here's what I want you to do. If you find this video to be engaging, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here on YouTube. There's lots of different videos, instructional tutorial videos. But I also want you to do something else. I now have a podcast called Storytelling That Sticks for Business and Life. Storytelling That Sticks for Business and Life. It's available on all the podcast platforms, Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Google, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. So I'd like you to go over there and check that out. Subscribe to my Storytelling That Sticks for Business and Life podcast. So that's all for this video. It's been a joy being with you today and sharing this lovely story. Pay attention, I'm going to have some more videos like this. Have a great day.